On a cold January night in 1992, 12-year-old Shanda Sharer slipped quietly out of her home in Jeffersonville, Indiana, believing she was meeting someone who cared about her. She had no idea that the car waiting in the darkness carried not friendship, but a plan already set in motion. Inside were 4 teenage girls: Melinda Loveless, Lori Tackett, Hope Rippey, and Tony Lawrence, their faces hiding jealousy, anger, and something far darker. The tension had been building for weeks, fueled by rumors and teenage rivalries that had spiraled dangerously out of control. Melinda, enraged over Shanda's connection to her former girlfriend, had convinced the others that a confrontation was necessary. But what began as talk of intimidation quickly hardened into a chilling scheme of violence. When Shanda climbed into the car, she believed she was going to a harmless sleepover, unaware that every mile carried her farther from safety. The girls drove across state lines into Madison, Indiana, their whispers thick with nervous excitement. In a dark parking lot, they turned on her suddenly, dragging her from the car and beating her as she cried out in confusion and fear. Shockingly, instead of stopping there, they forced her back into the trunk, sealing her inside as though she were nothing more than cargo. Hours passed as they drove aimlessly through the winter night, music playing to drown out the faint sounds from behind them. At one point, they opened the trunk to taunt and assault her again, as if testing how much cruelty they could endure within themselves. Each decision made it harder to turn back, yet none of them chose to stop. Eventually, they arrived near a remote area outside Madison, where the cold air cut through the trees like a warning. There, in the isolation of the woods, the violence escalated in ways almost impossible to comprehend. Fire, an element meant for warmth, became the final instrument of horror. By morning, Shanda's life had been brutally extinguished, leaving silence where laughter once lived. The girls attempted to return to normal life, attending school and chatting with friends, as if the night had been nothing more than a secret. Investigators soon began unraveling contradictions in their stories, pulling at threads that quickly exposed the truth. As details surfaced, the community of Jeffersonville reeled in disbelief that such calculated cruelty had come from teenagers. The arrests sent shockwaves through Indiana, challenging assumptions about youth, innocence, and the boundaries of peer pressure. In court, the full weight of their actions became undeniable, and each girl ultimately received a lengthy prison sentence. And in the end, the story of Shanda Sharer remains not only a tragedy of violence, but a haunting reminder of how quickly resentment can turn into irreversible darkness.